So our farm, when we bought it, was used for cropping, and on our farm the last crop that was sown on it was what they call dry cropping. So they poison the ground, or they poison whatever's on the farm, and then they sow with whatever they're sowing. Now, with the permaculture side of things, which is how we want to run our farm, when you poison the ground, you mess with all the root structure of the soil. So we now have to, you would think that you were starting with a blank canvas, but you also you get all the weeds that were there, because weeds survive anything. So we've sown 2 bays with tortilla and ryegrass and a clover, and we've watered. So we watered 2 bays, which we're hoping to get hay off. Now, if the hay doesn't come through or get to a point where we can cut it for hay, this will all stay in the ground to start creating the root structure again, weeds and all. Now, I think it's Charlie Arnott says that weeds tell you what your soil is lacking. So now my job is to be able to identify the weeds that we grow here and just keep ticking away at it. So we've got, this bay is worse than the other bay. The other bay is just mainly the tortilla that we sowed. We did that by, we've got a little, it says it's 45 kilos, but it's not. It took half a bag at a time. I drove up and down with the little seed spreader and did half a bag at a time. And I think, what did we end up putting on here? We ended up putting 4, 8, 9, 10, 12 bags of seed, 25 kilos a bag. So this bay's got mainly, there's a lot of oats that have come up. Not oats, wheat, which is what was sown here previously. And all the little stuff here is the ryegrass that we did. Now, there are some medic clover popping up here and there, which is really good. And not natural, but native grasses that are sort of popping up here and there. But because there's no root structure, all these gaps and cracks and stuff like that, it's got nothing to hold the dirt together. There's weeds. I'm pretty sure that's called marshmallow something. Looks pretty, but it's not thick. That side's thicker, but this side's not. So we're just ticking away at it. This is our first time cropping, I suppose you would call it, or sowing seeds. And it'll be a process of elimination. So we'll never run a tiller or a grader across this again. This is it. What we'll do now, if we're going to put seed down, we'll either direct drill it or just lay it on top. And if it's going to rain, just let it go into the cracks and sort of just do bits and bobs. That's what we're doing and how we're doing. If you've got any tips and tricks for running it as permaculture, so we'll eventually section these. At the moment we've got no fencing, it's just 2 bays that we're cutting for hay and that we've sown. We'll eventually put bays that we'll run the goats on, and the goats will take care of the weeds for us. And then we're hoping to get a couple of chicken tractors as well and put the chickens behind the goats, before the goats. Before the goats. One or the other. So say we get cows, the cows will go in, Then we'll put the goats in, and then we'll put the chickens in. Yeah, something like that. And everything will work in together, which is then putting nutrients back into the ground. We're pretty lucky here. The ground's quite fertile, considering it's been poisoned and it hasn't had anything on it. Oh yeah, there's a bit of clover. But yeah, we're just chipping away at it and letting it do its thing and letting us tell us what it needs.